Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Amrita and today I'm here with a new video to discuss about list, tuples and dictionary in Python. And I request you all to please stay along with me till the end. So without wasting much time, let's get started. List. The list data type. A list is a value that contains multiple values in an ordinary sequence. A list value looks like this: cat, bat, rat, elephant, which are in string form and are enclosed in square bracket. A list begins with an opening square bracket and ends with a closing square bracket. Values inside the list are also called items and are separated with commas. So here is a few example with respect to a list. The spam variable 1 is still assigned only by one value. The list value contains multiple values. The values in an empty list that contains no values, similar to the empty string. Getting individual values in a list with indexes. Say, you have the list cat, bat, rat, elephant. The Python code spam0 would evaluate to cat and spam1 would evaluate to bat and so on. So here is an example where you can see how the indexes have been assigned. The first value in the list is at index, empty square brackets. The second value is at index 1 and the third value is at index 2 and so on. Negative indexes. We can also use negative integers for the index. The negative values -1 refers to the last index in the list. The values -2 refers to the second to the list index in the list and so on. So again, here is an example. Getting sublist with slices. An index will get a single value from a list. A slice can get several values from a list in the form of a new list. A slice is typed between square brackets like an index, but it has two integers separated by a colon. Difference between indexes and slices. Spam2 is a list with an index, 1 integer. Spam1:4 is a list with a slice, 2 integers. In a slice, the first integer is the index where the slice starts. The second integer is the index where the slice ends, but will not include the values at the second index. So again, here is a program. As the shortcut, we can leave out one or both of the indexes on either sides of the column in the slice. Leaving out the first index is the same as using 0 or the beginning of the list. Leaving of the second index is the same as using the length of the list, which will slice to the end of the list. Again, here is an example. Getting list length with len. The len function will return the number of values that are in a list value. Changing values in a list with indexes. We can also use an index of a list to change the values at that index. Spam1. Addback means assigning the value at index 1 in the list spam to the string addback. List concatenation and list replication. The plus operator can combine two lists to create a new list value in the same way it combines two strings into a new string value. The asterisk operator can also be used with the list and an integer value to replicate the list. Removing values from list with del functions. The del statement will delete values at an index in a list. A del statement can also be used to delete a variable. After deleting it, we try to use the variable. We will get a name error because the variable no longer exists. In practice, we almost never need to delete simple variables. The del statement is mostly used to delete values from lists. Working with lists. When we first begin writing programs, it's tempting to create many individual variables to store a group of similar values, which is a bad way to write code because it leads to have a duplicate code in the program. So here are a few examples. Instead of using multiple repetitive variables, we can use a single variable that contains a list value. For example, the following program uses a single list and it can store any number of cats that the user types in. So here is an example of a program and the output. Using for loops with list. A for loop repeats the code block once for each value in a list or list-like value. So here is the program and the output again, an example for this. A common Python technique is to use range len sum list with the for loop to iterate over the indexes of a list. The code in the loop will access the index as the variable I. The value at the index has supplies I and range len supplies will iterate through all the indexes of supplies, no matter how many items it contains. Thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed the video and request you all to please like and share, subscribe the video. Take care.